The Hyundai Venue has been a runaway success for the Korean car maker. It is the car that leads the subcompact SUV segment and has sold over 112,000 units since its May 2019 launch. Interestingly, the turbo GDI variant has seen maximum demand with 44,600 sold. And just last month, Hyundai has brought in the same engine but now with a new gearbox option. The IMT, or Intelligent Manual Transmission as Hyundai calls it, is a clutchless 6-speed manual gearbox now on offer with the 1.0 turbo engine in the top 2 trims. The same is also true of the new Sport trim launched by the company. The Sport comes on the 1.5 diesel and the 1-litre petrol, but the petrol is only available in IMT or DCT, no regular manual, and that is smart. And that's because the Sport is a better looking variant that does away with all the excess chrome and gives you a more dynamic look. And so if it gets popular, so will the IMT by default. The Sport trim's only offered with this new grey and a white two-tone. The trim gets you a gloss black grille instead of all that chrome, like I said, red detail on the grille and wheel arches, red brake calipers, a red accent on the roof rail, and Sport badging on the C-pillar. Inside, it gets a flat-bottomed steering wheel with red stitching, new metal foot pedals, dark grey and red seats, red stitching and piping all around, red accents for the AC vents, and red surrounds for the climate control system. Quite nice actually. Now let's get this baby on the road. It is essentially exactly like driving a manual as far as gear changes go. Well, without the clutch. I'll tell you what, it takes some getting used to, because initially you get lulled into thinking that it's an AMT or an automatic, and you kind of forget to change gears. But the good part is that the little screen here will keep kind of telling you to go up or down, like in many other cars, of course. That's not new, and of course even the regular Venue has that. But in this case, especially when you're getting used to an IMT for the first time, that really helps. What also helps is if you stay in a higher gear, like I am now in 6, and you saw synchromesh, you can go straight from 4 to 6 or whatever. I mean, that part doesn't change. But yeah, if you slow down in 6th gear, come to an almost standstill, it starts warning you, but the car doesn't stall, and that's nice. It means it's kind of holding it with the clutch and not letting the car stall or suddenly come to a stop. So that's really good, because especially when you're getting used to it, you're likely to make that mistake fairly often. The IMT works by using a 6-speed manual gearbox with a transmission control unit, or TCU. This in turn controls a hydraulic actuator which operates the clutch. The TCU works with a sensor that activates as soon as it reads a driver's intent to change gears. The TCU then sends a signal to the actuator, which engages the clutch. Sounds simple? Well, it's not, but makes driving simpler for sure. Now, a lot of people know I'm not a fan of AMTs. I get it, they're really convenient and they serve a good purpose. I don't fault that. And they're of course cheaper than either putting in or buying conventional automatic transmission. But the thing with IMT then is that it still gives you that control. You don't feel those little, hesitations and little pauses that you get in an AMT. It's like driving a manual, but with the convenience of an AMT or an automatic. And that's the easiest way to explain it. no use of the clutch, which means on long drives your knee, your left knee and leg aren't going to feel any sort of discomfort or pain. You're not going to be uncomfortable or tired like you sometimes can be in a manual, especially in really high traffic situations where you're stuck in a long jam forever. So still got the control, it's still nice and sporty, you got the dynamic feel, and yet the comfort and convenience. So it's almost the best of both worlds, because you also get pretty good mileage. And so yeah, I think IMTs, if you ask me, I would prefer it to an AMT. So will this become a revolutionary thing in all cars? Maybe not. But those who do get used to driving an IMT will likely stay with it unless they go automatic with a CVT or torque converter. Now, car makers have tried IMT in several markets. In India, this is a first from Hyundai, and Kia will follow very soon with the Sonet having an IMT as well, basically the same configuration as what you're seeing here. And the advantage, of course, is that I think bringing it out on a Venue to begin with is a smart move, because the car is kind of sporty and it's small and compact to begin with. So you do get that sense of a nice sporty dynamic. It gets enhanced because of the IMT giving you that control of a manual. So good move, Hyundai. The game is on. Once the Sonet gets in, especially. On that car, the same 1-litre GDI turbo will only have a DCT auto or the IMT manual, no regular manual. So while it may be a gamble initially, eventually it could really pay off for both car makers, especially with volume models like the next generation i20 around the corner.